That is where this comes in. Sokatwa. It's for you to be able to remember that sine is always opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is always adjacent, which is the side next to it, over hypotenuse. Tan is always the side opposite over the side next to it, next to the angle. Sokatwa is for you to remember what is over what. Let's look at our triangles. These are the two right angle triangles that are used in trigonometry always. Sine theta, let's say these are our theta angles. Let's start with just 30 degrees. Sine 30 degrees, this is our 30 degrees. Sine of it is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite of 30 degrees over hypotenuse, which is 1 over 2. There you go. Cos of theta, which is adjacent over hypotenuse, the side next to the angle over hypotenuse. There is our 30. The side next to our 30 is this one over hypotenuse, which is this one. Cos of theta, which is opposite over adjacent, the opposite side over the side next to the angle. Here is our 30 degrees, the opposite side of it, and over the side next to it, which is it. Now let's say our angle is 45. Here is our 45s. Sine 45, which is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite to 45 is this one over hypotenuse. And again, there's another 45 here. You can still say opposite to this one over hypotenuse, which is still the same answer. Now cos of theta, cos of 45, adjacent, the side next to 45 over hypotenuse. The side next to 45 over hypotenuse. The side next to 45 over hypotenuse. Tan of theta, tan of 45, which is the opposite side over the side next to it. The opposite side over the side next to it. Root 2 over root 2 is the positive one. Now let's say our theta was 60. Opposite 60, here's our 60. Here's our 60, opposite over hypotenuse. Cos of 60, adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan of 60, opposite over adjacent, which is root 3 over 1, which is root 3. Those are the first main things you need to know about trigonometry. Now let's do some examples. Here's our 60, opposite over hypotenuse. Cos of 60, adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan of 60, opposite over adjacent, which is root 3 over 1, which is root 3. Those are the first main things you need to know about trigonometry. Now let's do some examples. The other thing you need to know is these three ratios, which is basically the opposite of the previous ratios that you already knew, which is sine theta. The opposite of sine theta is called cosecant, which is 1 over sine of theta. It's called cosec, which is basically the opposite of everything you were doing here. Remember, here it was opposite over hypotenuse. This side is going to be hypotenuse over opposite. Example, if they are saying cosecant of theta, you're going to say this is our theta, cosecant over theta. You're going to say the opposite of opposite over hypotenuse, which is now hypotenuse over the opposite side. Do you understand? The opposite. And then the second one is a secant, which is 1 divided by cos theta, which is basically sec is hypotenuse over the adjacent side, the side next to the angle. Cotangent, which is 1 over tan theta, which is normally called the cot. It's basically adjacent over hypotenuse. These are the inverses or the opposites of these ones.